Welcome to another episode of WJAG-TV. This week, we survey opinions from students and teachers about their personal concerns about school safety, and we spice up classical music with the Warp Trio. My name is Aaliyah now.
And I'm Keke Raiford, and this is WJAG-TV with your weekly school news.
In November, the Warp Trio performed in Athens and decided to reach out to our very own orchestra to lead them in musical workshops and a private concert. Here's Michael Niedzwiecki-Castile.
Cedar students may have heard the sounds of a funky orchestra echoing through the halls a few days ago. The source of the music was the Warp Trio, a genre-obliterating chamber music group who came to lead an instructional workshop for students.
I think what's really nice about the Warp Trio is that they play at a really, really high level. Like the one, several of them I think went to Juilliard, so they have this like classical sort of pedigree, but they are doing non-traditional, like non-Western art music style. I think they bring like a lot of classical sort of legitimacy, but then they're using their music in ways that are maybe even more like applicable in real life.
We play for an orchestra, kind of predominantly orchestral students today, and just to see those very instruments that you guys play with the same training that you guys are getting. You guys are getting tools just by practicing your instruments to be able to do anything.
Though playing classical instruments, the group is anything but typical.
These are a group of guys. I will say classical music is not short on men performing, but this is also like there are some not white people in this group, so that's exciting to see because that is something classical music is pretty short on, is diversity. So even if it is all guys, at least it's not all white guys, which is, we joke that we're playing pieces by old dead white guys, and this is at least a little different.
I like that it was a diverse group. It was very unique. Each of them spoke a little bit about their own story and how they the upbringing of them coming here. And I thought it was very unique how they all came together because they were all different from each other.
This is sort of our own genre of music that we created. At first, we are called trio, and we look like a classical piano trio. Sort of, there are four members in this trio, and want to show that, okay, whatever the pre-image of a trio that someone might have, that it's something very different from that, and we just want to send that message.
I think it's beneficial because we get to see more, because being here, we don't get an everyday experience with different things, and we get to experience new things, so I think it's cool.
Through their music, the Warp Trio has inspired many musicians to break down barriers and pursue their passions. This has been Michael Niedzwiecki-Castile with WJAG-TV News, signing off.
Keke, I know I'm not really good at math, but doesn't trio mean three? I know my eyes aren't deceiving me. It's four of them.
Aaliyah, I think they're making a new name for trios. They're all defying all odds, and they're starting with changing math. Are you concerned about your safety at school? Ainsley Gutterman interviews students and teachers and learn more about the experiences of faculty and the students. Here she is with more.
School is a place where we all go to learn, not to fear. Though there are worries or concerns, there are also positive reinforcements.
School is a safe space, in my opinion, because you're surrounded with people who are there for the same reason you are. They all want to learn. It's there's no reason for you to not feel safe.
Obviously when I walk into Cedar, I'm surrounded with teachers and students and my friends and teachers who care about me, so them being there, it automatically makes it a safe space for me.
School is a safe place for me because when I walk through these buildings, I have friends and teachers and administration that I know care about me and that I know I can go to if I have problems or concerns or if I'm just feeling sad. There are people who I can talk to and people who I can avoid the issues of the real world with.
Over 60.7% of teens are worried about a school shooting happening at their school. 3,600 people are killed by guns each year. 1,500 of those are children.
Sometimes I do feel unsafe coming to school because I'm afraid that someone will actually bring a gun or actually try to use it in school, so it kind of affects how I work because I'm constantly anxious about what could happen.
You just never know what could happen. Like, it doesn't even have to be a student. There's so many just random mass shootings now that someone that no one at our school even knows could just come and just shoot us up, because that's just how it is today. So that's definitely always something that I feel like we as students have to fear.
I'm just worried that someone is going to get mad or feel like they have nothing else to lose and show up with a gun and just start mowing students down, and that we are not, as a school and as a community, prepared for that, because a lot of people have the mind state that, like, this is happening, but it's not going to happen to us. Like, it couldn't happen here, but it could always happen to anyone.
Teachers and school officials are doing and will do everything they can to make sure the students of their buildings are safe.
Well, I think it's an awful lot for a teacher to come into the building and consider, and I think that recent national events have made every single one of us, at least if we're paying attention, consider what we would do in that circumstance. And a lot of people will tell you what they do, but nobody really knows until the moment happens.
Teachers, security, administrators, counselors that are being like diligent to make sure that, you know, they understand the pulse of the school and they understand what's going on in these walls, so that we can control whatever it is that we can try to control. So, I mean, it is different that more people think and worry about it, but at the same time, I think that everyone is so aware of that at this point that leads to a greater level of safety, I think, for us in the school.
Times have changed and will continue to change. It is up to us to learn from the past so we will be able to see the future.
You know, I think the same concerns that students have, the teachers have as well.
People with a very negative and sad agenda deciding to take out innocent people by the hundreds, sometimes by the dozens, was not a concern at all of ours during the time that I grew up.
The world is different. That y'all's perception of our nation and our issues and everything else is going to be different, just because the world as you see it is different.
Not saying that the school shooting issue is going to go away and we're not going to think about that anymore, but it's going to change because everything's still like kind of constantly changing.
And for WJAG-TV News, this has been Ansley Gunderman.
Safety at school is essential to a successful and positive learning environment for students. No one should ever feel like they're in danger when they're at school. If you ever have a doubt that you're not safe, please contact a school official or counselor. Now to sports.
WJAG-TV Sports News. I'm Takumba Ojo, and joining me is Lorelei Crook.
The boys varsity basketball team has been on a roll with a 3-game win streak and a current record of 8-1. They most recently defeated Gainesville 86-52 on Tuesday, and last Thursday beat Tequila 86-60. The players seem content with the direction of the season thus far.
To get better shooting and working on defense. I think I performed well, but it's still some things that I can work on.
My personal goals are to try to get defensive player of the state. I thought I performed good. We didn't play a very good team, so I knew I was like, my minutes were going to be short, so I was like trying to be like a team player and cheer my other team on.
Work hard, win every game. Thought I performed good. Come to practice every day ready to get better. It's uplifting each other and just being one. Shooting, being a team leader, communication.
Every day we come to practice like ready to work, ready to get better, and then like everybody just got to like lock in on defense really and limit the turnovers, and we'll be good.
Stay in the gym day in, day out, work hard, bond.
The boys are currently ranked number 2 in Region 5A and play at Elbert County on Friday.
The girls basketball team has a current record of 3-5. The girls are hoping they can improve from their 60-56 loss last Thursday versus Tequila.
I think I did well, but we came up short, so we could have done better. I could have done better. Definitely free throws and finishing on layups.
I think I can improve on fouling. I had like 3 fouls after halftime.
To have a better assist turnover rate, so basically to have less turnovers than assists.
Working better as a team and getting our chemistry together.
Giving 110% in practice, a lot of effort, and just playing team ball.
I think I did good in the defensive end and offense. It was straight. Becoming a better leader on our team and giving 110% in every drill we do in practice.
The girls play their next game at Elbert County on Friday.
From the football team, senior defensive end Jalen Jackson signed his letter of intent on Wednesday in the early signing period to continue his football career at Georgia Southern, a Division I school. Here's more from his signing.
I had offers from Middle Tennessee, FAMU, Grambling State. They're just a few of the names of some of them. I can't remember the rest right now. I plan on using the skills that I received at Cedar from all the coaches and taking that to the next level and using it to help me perform up there. My best memory has to be when we beat Clark Central my junior year and then went to the playoffs my 10th grade year. Hell Southern.
That's all for sports news this week. Don't forget that the Jaguars will beat Clark Central on January 4th with the boys and girls varsity basketball teams taking on our rivals. Again, I'm Takumba Ojo.
And I'm Lorelai Crook. Now back to the latest news.
Well, that concludes this week's episode. We'll be back next week with all new stories about Cedar Shoals Jaguars and the Eastside community. Again, I'm Aaliyah.
And I'm Keke Raiford.
And this has been WJAG-TV with your weekly school news.